Hello everybody, Aaron the Nintintrovert here. Welcome back to the channel. No, there's not something wrong with my recording footage. We're playing Cuphead. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Cuphead, one of my favorite games of all time. It's definitely in the top 10. And really, I'm not even the biggest fan of indie games that often. There's definitely a handful of indie games out there that's great, but I don't play a whole lot of indies, and I'm definitely not really into games that go super viral, that a bunch of YouTubers are playing, that's really popular for a week or whatever. But Cuphead definitely fits that bill. But Cuphead really resonates with me in a way that games like, we'll say, Minecraft or Roblox or whatever other viral sensation that people play, Five Nights at Freddy's, those sorts of games just never did it for me. But Cuphead, from the moment I saw this game, it was just like, oh, I have to have this. I adore everything about Cuphead. So at first it came out in 2017, and it was exclusive to Xbox because Microsoft actually, they helped fund the game, so you can kind of argue whether Cuphead's even an indie game or not. It was made by Studio MDHR, but Microsoft kind of it's a little confusing. I don't know if they fully bought out the rights to Cuphead, but they kind of, at least own part of it. But let's delete us a file here so we can jump into the game. How do I delete a file? Oh, there, the X button. I couldn't see because my recording software is blocking the TV screen. I guess we'll delete file C. I kind of hate to, since that one's not as complete as these other ones, but whatever. We'll jump right into it. We will be Cuphead, because the game's called Cuphead, so of course we will. Yeah, I don't think we'll do the DLC. I think we'll just do the base campaign, and maybe we'll revisit it and do the DLC. Another time, maybe that can be its own series, or maybe it'll just be some additional episodes to this playthrough. But yeah, I don't really see myself doing it right now. But as you can see, this game has a very, Hanna-Barbera, Tom and Jerry, or, classic Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes, very traditional hand-drawn, what they call rubber hose animation style from the 1930s. Back before, obviously nowadays everything's done digitally, but back then everything was done on individual sheets of cell paper or whatever. And I'm a big video game buff. That's why I started this channel, because I love gaming, but I'm also very passionate about animation. I grew up with Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network back in the day, so this game just kind of combines my two loves for video games and animation, and just blends them together so seamlessly in a way that few other games manage to capture. I'm actually going to move where my recording thing is located for right now. That way you can see the text on the screen here, which I'll read in a second. But yeah, Cuphead holds a very special place in my heart. Like I said, it's one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. It's just kind of a gauntlet of boss fights, basically. There's a handful of shoot 'em up levels in there as well. But the animation, a lot of games go for a hand-drawn art style like this, but they don't nail it for me. A lot of the times, if there's not enough frames of animation, or it looks too stiff, or they just kind of didn't hand draw everything, but kind of just manipulate the joints, kind of like a stiff effect using a bone tool, like in Adobe Flash or something. It just comes across as kind of cheap, like a mobile game, like a Flash game. But Cuphead really goes the mile. They actually hand painted the backgrounds. There's just this awesome footage you can find of just how they put everything together, and how it was all drawn on paper and then rendered into the game, and it's just so cool. They've got this filter over everything to create that old grainy camera footage with the imperfect strips of what do you call the camera roll. My mind's blanking on what the film. It's film. Yeah, I'm gonna shut up now and we'll just get into the game. I've been raving for 4.5 minutes here, and we've not even started, so let's at least get through the opening cutscene here. Once upon a time, in the magical place called Inkwell Isle, there were two brothers named Cuphead and Mugman. They lived without a care under the watchful eye of the wise Elder Kettle. And I just realized that this game's actually made by two brothers. So I wonder if that's why they made Cuphead and Mugman two brothers as your protagonists, which also is kind of just a Mario and Luigi thing, your player too. One day, the two boys wandered far from home, and despite the Elder Kettle's many warnings, ended up on the wrong side of the tracks and entered the Devil's Casino. Sorry, you had to see that. Okay. Inside, Cuphead and Mugman soon found themselves on a winning streak at the craps table. Hot dog, exclaimed King Dice as the casino's sleazy manager. These fellas can't lose. Nice run, boys, laughed a newcomer. The brothers gasped. It was the casino's owner, the devil himself. Now how about we raise the stakes, he suggested with a toothy grin. Win one more roll and all the loot in my casino is yours, the devil boomed. But if you lose, I'll have your souls. Deal? Cuphead, blinded by easy riches, nodded and grabbed the dice for a throw. Good gosh, Cuphead, no! Cried Mugman, for he understood the danger, but it was too late. Snake eyes, laughed the devil while slamming the floor. You get nothing. You lose. You stole fizzy lifting juice. According to the contract, habeas corpus, etc., etc., I don't remember the rest of the words, but you lose. Good day, sir. The brothers trembled in fear as he loomed over them. Now about those souls. The brothers pleaded for their very lives. There must be another way to repay you, Mugman stammered. Yes, please, mister, Cuphead added. I'm not good at doing a Mickey Mouse, kind of voice, but, did my best. Perhaps there is, the devil snickered, pulling out a parchment. I have here a list of my runaway debtors. Collect their souls for me, and I just might pardon you two mugs. Get it, mugs? Because they're... Now get going, the devil roared, kicking the boys out most rudely. You have till midnight tomorrow to collect every one of these souls, otherwise I'll be the one collecting yours. Yes, if you've never played this game, looking on the outside, you might think it's just a cute, wholesome little romp here with colorful cartoon characters, but it's a pretty dark plot. We got to go around. We're basically hitmen for the devil himself. We're bounty hunters. We got to go around and collect people's souls. Very morbid when you really think about it. But Cuphead and Mugman were terribly frightened and ran away as fast as they could. Come on, Mug, panted Cuphead. We have to find Elder Kettle. He'll know what to do. Maybe a little better. My voice cracks a little bit when I hit those high notes, but, got a little dancing hourglass in the bottom corner there to show the loading screen. We are playing on Switch, so the load times might be a little bit long. What a fine pickle you boys have gotten yourselves into. I know you don't want to be pawns of the devil, but if you refuse, I can't bear to imagine your fates. You must play along for now, collect those contracts, and you'd best be ready for some nasty business. Your debtor friends won't be very friendly once you confront them. In fact, I expect they'll transform into terrible beasts. Take this potion so they won't hang you out to dry. It will give you the most remarkable magical abilities. Now go to my writing desk and use the mystical inkwell there. You need to prepare yourselves for a scrap. Okay, we're going to prepare ourselves for a scrap here with this scrap piece of paper. The puns, they write themselves. They write themselves on the paper. So yeah, we can duck, we can jump, we can do a little dash move. I'll try not to be as bad as there's the infamous, if you've seen the guy, he just gets stuck here. There was like a gaming journalist demo in this game, and he just kept doing this for like, I don't even know, like 10 minutes or something. It was like this big... this big stain in this guy's career, the poor fella. Nobody ever really let him live that one down. But yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've played Cuphead. As you may know, it's a very challenging game. That's the big reason that it was so popular among streamers. Is just kind of watching them just rage out as they keep dying and having to try over and over and over again. But yeah, let's see how much of my muscle memory is still there. I'm wearing a Cuphead shirt, by the way. I've got it mirrored. Let me flip it for just a second, and then I'll put the camera back to normal here. If it'll let me. Come on. Oh, that's upside down. That ain't what we want. Yeah, so it's very faded. I've only worn this shirt maybe like a handful of times, but it's really been through the ringer. And when I say been through the ringer, I mean it's been through the washing machine. But yeah, this shirt faded very easily. I've got another shirt like that. I got around the same time. It's Super Mario World that I'll maybe put on when we do the Mario World playthrough. But that one also is It's looking a little ratty just from, and again, I've not wore it that much, but yeah, let's put our camera back to pretty much to normal there. I think that should be about good. If I was a professional YouTuber, I would actually like edit it to make it, you know, where you didn't have to watch me do all that. But you know, you get the bare minimum here at Nintendrovert. That's what it's all about. No, but anyway, yeah, we're on our little hub map here. The hub world of the game here, the overworld, we should say. Talk to this guy real quick. Hey, fellas, looks like you're in for it now, eh? Well, I used to be the same way, always getting into trouble. Running, jumping, shooting. But now I prefer just strolling around and going to the pictures. But hey, let me give you a hand. Take this. We got 3 Namco arcade tokens to play Pac-Man with. All right. But yeah, let's hop into our first level here. We'll start with the Root Pack in Botanic Panic. So yeah, let's get right into it. Our first boss fight. We're like 11 minutes into the playthrough, and I'm only just now really getting started with an actual level. So go figure. But yeah, I love the boss fight. Everything's just so fluidly animated. Like, look at this. This is so. It's like we're just playing a cartoon. It's so awesome. I love it so much. And yeah, this level we got these bosses that are all vegetable based. So we got this. Mr. Potato Man here. I don't know what his real name's supposed to be, if he even has one. So you can do this move called a parry, where if I jump and then press the B button again, he does this little slap thing. Okay, now we're on to the second phase. Mr. Onion Man. He's gonna cry little tears like a wee baby, because he's an onion and he has layers. Donkey. Ogres are like onions, we have layers. Alright, yeah, we're on our final phase now. We're making short work of these bosses. We're fighting Mr. Carrot Man, who always kind of reminded me of like somebody off the Powerpuff Girls, just the way his eyes and mouth looked, almost like him, the devil guy from that show, which is pretty appropriate, I guess, considering we do battle the devil in this game. Oh, he took damage there. So not a flawless run. Still a little bit rusty, and then I'm also you know, talking while I'm playing and everything. So you know, might take me a bit to get back into the groove here. I also don't have any of my special weapons unlocked yet that I prefer using to just the regular pea shooter. Oh, come on, we can't die on the first level. That we can't do that. We'll never live that down. There we go, a knockout, and we beat him. And at some point, it's so weird. They added like a free update to this game where on a couple boss fights, this one included, you can get like an alternate phase of the fight. It's like when we fought the onion guy who cries there. You know, they added where if you just don't attack him, you know, do like a pacifist run or something, like we're playing Undertale, I guess, I don't know. He'll go away and then a different enemy will come out. It's like a turnip, I think, that spins around, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's really weird. I don't know why they did that. I guess I could replay that level and show it, but I don't know. We won't do all that today. Let's talk to this shady character. Huh. I'll be a monkey's uncle if I'm putting my moolah in the bank, say. For all I know, the devil probably controls the place too, say. They'll never get a hold of my gold if I spread it all around. And if some Joe happens to find a coin or two, good for him, say. That's what I say. Harf. I go around and spread my gold everywhere, just like I'm gonna spread my seed like Nick Cannon. Okay, that's it. Let's reel it back in. Family show. Okay. Do we have enough coins that we can buy an upgrade? I want the one that gives me like the Tri-Blaster, or whatever it's called, where I can shoot 3 at a close range. I love this guy, Pork Rind. Just the music, his little animation, that welcome when you come in, the way the mouth is exaggeratedly animated like those old cartoons. I love it. Yes, we do have enough for the spread shot. Ooh, and the extra heart. I kind of want to get both of those. Let's get the heart first, just to be on the safe side. I think if we have more hearts, I want to say maybe that makes it where our attacks do a little bit less damage, but I feel like it's a worthy trade-off. I want to get both hearts. Later on we can get a 5th one. I love Pork Rind. I love that man. I don't love pork rinds, though. I don't really enjoy eating like the skin or the fat for that matter. But like, I don't know. I like the lean of whatever meat I'm eating. But anyways, you got to equip those new purchases if you wants to use them. Look at you, equip cod, you bums. Once again, I'm blocking the text on the screen. I don't know where I need to leave this camera. Okay, yeah, it's going to make us equip it, which is probably good, because maybe we would forget if I didn't. Charm, put on the extra heart point, and yeah, we don't have our pea shooter yet. I think we'll do this run and gun level, just kind of like a traditional side-scrolling, like a you know, shoot 'em up kind of thing, where we just got to get to the end of the level here. More traditional level. This game's mostly comprised of boss fights, but each world does have like 2 of these. So there's like maybe, I think, 6 in total in the game of these side-scrolling levels. But otherwise, it's all boss fights. But yeah. So we'll just make our way through here. Hopefully not die. I love the background again. Like, this was actually like drawn out and then like painted with watercolors. It's so cool. But something I was saying earlier, I feel like I lost my train of thought. But any item that's pink, basically, we can use Cuphead's little parry move on here to do like a little, do this special little move here where it doesn't hurt us, and it actually builds up on the bottom left corner next to our HP. We've got this these cards, and we can stack up to 5 of them. And when we have one of those filled up, we can use our special move, which in this case does that little kind of Street Fighter Hadouken blast there. But then if we get them all filled up, we can do, if we have 5 of them, we can use the Cuphead's like main special attack. I forget exactly what you call them. But right now we don't have one. That's something that we get later on when we help out Miss Chalice, who you'll see later. Yeah, so right now it all just does the same regardless of whether we have all 5 of these or not. Then Cuphead also has this this dash move we can use with the X button, which I'm halfway tempted to remap into something, you know, I've always just used it with the X button, but a lot of games I feel like have this sort of thing mapped to the one of your shoulder buttons, which makes it a little bit easier, so you're not having to take your hand off of the like the shoot button. Or the jump button for that matter, but we'll see. For right now, we'll just leave it the way that it is. But yeah, I adore Cuphead so much, man. It's such a good game. You know, definitely worthy of all of the accolades that it got when it came out, and I'm really excited to see what this studio does next. Studio MDHR are the ones who made the game, which stands for, it's an abbreviation of, I think, the brothers who made the game. I don't know if their names are like the Moldenhauer brothers or something like that. I think one of them's maybe named like Jared Moldenhauer. I could be completely wrong, but it's in some way named after them. Oh, I guess did we get a perfect score there? A+? Okay. I think you can get an S rank. I don't know what we would have needed to have gotten an S on that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe A+ is the high. I don't remember. It's been a hot minute since I played Cuphead. But yeah, this game came out in 2017, and it was Xbox exclusive, but you could also get it on PC. And I wanted this game so bad. This is the only game I've ever purchased for PC, and I played it on my, at the time I had kind of a, it was my laptop for college, so it wasn't even made for gaming. I didn't even have a gaming controller for my laptop, and I didn't know how to sync up like a Switch or controller or PlayStation controller or anything to it. So I played and beat this whole game for the first time on a laptop using the keyboard, like moving with the whatever you call the little directional arrows, and then using like the whichever keys it was. I forget which ones you had to use for like shooting and jumping and everything. If it was like the J, K, L, and I, maybe, I don't remember. But yeah, that was a painful way to play this game for the first time. It took me a pretty good while to beat it. I was a little disappointed by the time this game came to consoles because it was so easy in comparison. I was just blowing through it. It was like, wow, I mastered this game with a freaking keyboard, so now I can just, you know, once you've done that, you can do anything. Yeah, let's buy the spread here. Try not to make another Nick Cannon joke. So we've got our spread, and we'll equip that because it's probably my favorite item, and even the default one, the pea shooter. Those are kind of my go-tos. I'll leave the spread shot and then the pea shooter, and we'll just kind of stick with those. Yeah, we don't have a super yet. And we'll go down here to Clip Joint Calamity. Ribby and Croaks in Clip Joint Calamity. Let's hop right into it. You can't see the little dancing hourglass guy because I'm once again blocking. I'm just going to keep moving the camera around just constantly.
This match will get red hot.
Alright, we're going to take these guys down here. I don't know where to put my camera. This game is so cool to look at, but I feel like everywhere I put the camera is just going to be in the way. We could leave it here. I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep on. This is such bad content. I apologize in advance. Yeah, I just there's so much going on the screen. I almost feel like I should just turn off my face cam so you can see everything. This game's got a lot of references to different different old cartoons, but also to different, classic video games. And so I think that move he just did is kind of supposed to be a Street Fighter reference, like Ryu's Hadouken, kind of like the special move that I use as well. But yeah, I love, just love the character designs. I love so much about this game. I don't know why, but these bosses always reminded me of a character from like Camp Lazlo or like Rocko's Modern Life, if you've ever seen either of those shows, which are both made by the same guy, whose name I'm blanking on right now. But yeah, it just reminds me a lot of kind of like on Rocco, you had the frog neighbors, the big heads. There was like Ed Big Head, and then like Beverly Big Head, I think was his wife's name, and then. Yeah, I don't know, they kind of remind me of like Camp Lazlo. You had like these Dung Beetle characters, Chip and Skip, and then you had these, I don't remember their names, but like these, they were like birds or something with like long necks. There was like 3 of them, and yeah, they all looked kind of the same. I don't know if they were like triplets or what, but yeah, I get a lot of Camp Lazlo, Rocko's Modern Life, vibes from the design here. Yeah, this final phase is a little tricky. Each boss typically has 3 phases that they go through, and each one has like a radically different transformation with all kinds of crazy animations and unique attack patterns. Just such a cool game. I can't go on raving enough about how much I love Cuphead. Let's get a few special shots in. Okay, I thought we might take damage there, but we're good. We might here though. Oh well. So once again, not a perfect run. Knockout. Yeah, if I could have just hung on a little bit longer there. But yeah, that's another boss fight in the books. We've been recording for 21 minutes. We'll do another level or 2. I don't know. We might do just the first. I didn't get any parries. Oh well. Probably like a B rank. Yeah, that's okay. I think I have gotten all A ranks before on this game. I've also 200% of the game, which is like you beat it and then you go back through the whole thing again in hard mode. I've not done any like no-hit runs or anything like that. But yeah, can we get over there to the museum now? Got the Ruby and Croak soul contract. I mean, we're literally going around just like killing people like the Grim Reaper and just taking their souls basically. Yeah, I like how this has kind of got this wavy thing going on this building here to show you can interact with it. I guess kind of like how in the old days they'd have to redraw every frame of animation. Sometimes you'd have kind of that squiggly line effect where they couldn't trace it quite perfectly. It kind of gives me Ed, and Eddie vibes, if you remember that show. One of my favorite shows growing up. And I never really understood what they were going for with the wavy lines really until I played Cuphead, and then it was like, oh, I get it. And like I kind of learned more about old classic cartoons from this era thanks to this game. Because used to, I only cared about cartoons I grew up with in like the 90s and the early 2000s. Yeah, this game really helped broaden my appreciation for animation throughout all eras, really. Yeah, I've gotten a lot more into kind of the old vintage stuff like this from the heyday. It's just very fascinating history, and a lot of the cartoons still hold up very well. A lot funnier than you would think for jokes that are like borderline 100 years old now at this point. Except for the ones that, there's definitely some that don't hold up for, cultural sensitivity reasons. But, that aside, though, still very funny, cartoons. And, yeah, I love just the art of it. And, like, a lot of these old cartoons from, like, the 30s and stuff, too, were actually made not really for televisions at home, but like to be seen like in a movie theater. It's like a short, like before the opening of a movie, like a lot of the old like Tom and Jerry's and Looney Tunes and stuff like that. So really, if you look at a lot of the cartoons from like the 40s and stuff, they're animated so fluently, and it just looks so good in comparison to stuff that would come later, like in the 60s when things became more standardized for television sets. And really, even to this day, there's some stuff that doesn't look fluid as this stuff from back when they were having to draw everything by hand. Just the amount of effort and dedication they put into it, when like you can do things digitally that save so much time and effort nowadays, but still don't put in the same amount of craftsmanship in a lot of cases that they did way back when. So it's really awesome to see, and I love how authentically this game captures that style. But let's read what this lady says. Let me channel my best Harley Quinn voice, or like Matilda's mom. Gosh, I don't know how to thank you boys for saving me. Where are my manners? I didn't even introduce myself. I'm known as the legendary Chalice. Pleased to meet you. I was searching for magic and got trapped by those ghosts. Speaking of magic, please accept this gift. It should help. There are other mausoleums around Inkwell Isle. I just wonder. Thanks, lady. So yeah, now that we've got whatever she just put into our head / cup, our cup head, we can use our first special power, which we probably have to equip. Yeah, dear me, you mustn't forget that magical super arts have to be equipped before or in the menu before use. Thanks, Harley. I don't know, that's just the best voice I could think of for like a woman from this particular era. You just think of that, just you know, New York swinging, whatever. Oh, is this how we get to the DLC? Is that what this is? Legendary Chalice bid me to carry a message to you. She needs your help. A far-off isle, a mysterious discovery. Okay, yeah, no, this is the DLC stuff. We might do this later on if we revisit this game down the road, but right now we're just focusing on the base game. Let's talk to this lady. So I hear you fellas gave some of them ghosts a what for? Glad somebody finally sorted them out. Might make the fishing even better here. Then again, might not. You're a fish lady. That's called cannibalism, which is illegal in most parts of the world. I'm just gonna stare at you, just with my nose touching the back of your neck in judgmentalness. Alright, that's enough. Carry on, lady. Maybe they're not the same species of fish. Maybe it's okay as long as it's like if she's like a halibut, if she's fishing for, you know, salmon or something. I don't know. That sounded kind of fish racist. Am I a fish racist? Crap. I didn't think about this. Okay. Let's do at least one more level and then we might call it here. Did I equip that already? Yeah, okay. Goopy Legrand in Ruse of an Ooze. Okay, that's enough of that. I guess the long times aren't too bad for Switch. For some reason I was thinking they were longer, but I guess it's mainly just for the game just booting up for the first time. We've got this boss here who, like I said, this game takes a lot of inspiration, not only from, oh, you gotta look out for that, from old cartoons from the era, but also from video games as well. And this guy is clearly very based on the slime enemy from Dragon Quest, if you've ever played Dragon Quest. Good chance you haven't, because that series really isn't super popular here in America like it is in Japan. But yeah, the Dragon Quest games are a lot of fun. I would recommend checking them out if you're into RPGs, JRPGs. You know, they are very similar, but I would say Dragon Quest XI is a great game. But it kind of is, you know, I started with Dragon Quest XI, which is the most recent mainline Dragon Quest, which came out maybe around 2017, 2018, something like that, and then it got ported to the Switch in 2019. I think we're already on the last phase here. Yeah, where he's just a tomb here. We've got to defile his grave. Am I really gonna defile his grave for money? Of course I am. But once again, we got to get that obligatory one SpongeBob reference at least in per episode of whatever it is we're playing. It's mandatory. Oh, all right. That's what we get for making SpongeBob references, I guess. We got squished. Knockout. Okay. Pretty good. That's another boss in the book, so I got through that pretty quick. Only took us a couple minutes. Maybe we could, if we just plowed through this world here, just do it all in one episode. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. We'll do at least one more. We got another run and gun level, and then there's, I think maybe just the flower boss, and then we might be done with this world. Maybe we should just finish it out. I don't know. I'll think about it. Obviously I'll make up my mind eventually. When you see the video, you'll know, and you can probably tell right now when you look down at the length of time. Oh no, there is another boss. I forgot. Yeah, we're on Hildeberg. I forgot about her. So yeah, we probably won't do all of this in one episode because, yeah. Okay, we can just skip right over here. I was trying to see if there was any secrets, but I guess there's not a hidden thing. I think maybe. Yeah, there's like one coin I could not 100%. I had to look up a guide. And it turns out I think you have to come back to this world after beating World 1, revisit it, and there's like a coin over here somewhere behind a tree, which is like really weird. Like why do it like that? But yeah, there's coins hidden in the run and gun levels and then also in the overworld. But let's talk to this little, whatever this guy is supposed to be. And is he like a ink container? But he's almost got like an owl beak or something. What's that? You two want to fly in a plane like I do? Ha! You're not sitting in any cockpit till you study those blueprints. Alright. Aeroplane Blueprints. We'll do this one, and then maybe we'll call it a wrap. I don't know. I've still not decided. Okay, I'm not doing that every time. Yes, we shoot. We can fill up our meter, do the special. We can parry. We can shrink. And when we shrink, our bullets don't have quite the same range. They don't go all the way to the end of the screen like when we're normal size, but it's useful for evading. You know, we've got, you know, when we got a bunch of obstacles coming at us, and we need to, you know, carefully maneuver through them here. So anyway, let's just get into it. So yeah, this is kind of reminiscent of like an old arcade game, almost like a Galaga or something, or you know, I don't know. I can't think of any other arcade game. It's more like really Galaga is kind of you know, you're at the bottom and like aiming up. This is more you're kind of scrolling to the right, which I'm trying to think of some arcade games like that. There's a million old shoot 'em up you know, arcade games like that where you're in a spaceship or you're in a plane or whatever, but none of them are coming to mind right now. Not just in arcades, but I want to think there's one on the there's a series on the NES and maybe also the Super Nintendo that's kind of like this. Is it Gradius? Is that what I'm thinking of? Is that the name of one? Yeah, we're finding old Hildeberg here, who's a very very heavily inspired, kind of got a very sort of Betty Boop look about her in her normal phase, not so much this one here. Okay, let's transform into a big atom bomb here and kamikaze the heck out of this lady. Just the best of both worlds from World War II. We got the kamikazes, we got the atom bombs. We're just committing all kinds of war crimes here. Now she's turning into whatever that's supposed to be. Some kind of a mythological Greek or Roman goddess or something. I don't know what this is. These two like twin cloud moon whatevers. But yeah, she also kind of reminds me a lot of like a Steven Universe character or something. I never really watched Steven Universe, but I kind of get that vibe of like the character like Pearl or somebody, which I guess Steven Universe probably was inspired a little bit by old cartoons like this as well. Now we're on the final phase where she turns into this big moon. She mooned us. It's just like the Spyro playthrough all over again. We gotta dodge these, dodge these ships of hers here. Yeah, I forget what the difference is. I think the red ones trigger when you pass under them, so you got to go by them quickly to not get hit. And then the the brown ones I think are, I don't know if they're random or how they work, but okay, it got a little dicey there. But we're all good. So yeah, that's another one in the books. 32 minutes. Part of me wants to keep going, but I don't know. Do we keep going? Let me know down in the comments, because like I'm still figuring out this YouTube thing. Do you like longer videos? A lot of the times I like watching 30, 40 minute long YouTube videos. Like if I'm eating my dinner, I'll just have a plate in my lap and I'm eating while I'm watching somebody play, whatever. But maybe you like shorter content, you know, maybe you just want 10, 15, 20 minute videos, or maybe more on the 10-minute side of things if that's too long. Excuse me. Had some spicy food earlier, so I keep belching. Yeah, so let me know what you're more into. I don't know what's best for the YouTube algorithm. Maybe that's what I was thinking about, that coin behind a tree. Can I get to that one? No, I don't think I can. What are you looking at? My chip? Ha! It's not my fault. I've been busy fighting off those casino debtors. Now I gotta save up to have my blade fixed. So help me, I wish someone would just bust that king dice one. Sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to look at your chip. Your eyes are up here. Okay, I won't look at the size of that guy's chip. You know what they say about a man with a big chip? Even bigger salsa. All right, let's do this other run and gun level. We're gonna keep going. I don't want to put the game down. Yeah, I would like to at least get through this this world today, and I don't know how much longer I want to record. So like, I feel like if I stop now, I'll either not get to beat this world today, or I will end up recording a lot more than I want to if I do the second part. Because then we'd probably have to play some more World 2, because I don't want it to be too short. But anyway, let's parry off these pink ladybugs here. The pink ones are the ladybugs, and the boy ladybugs are the I don't know. I'm just making that up. Just reinforcing gender stereotypes by saying that only women can like the color pink. Did y'all ever like go to school with a kid back in like, you know, 2nd grade, and like he's wearing that shirt? It's like tough guys wear pink. You know what I'm talking about? Were you that kid? Let me know in the comments if you were that kid that came to school wearing one of those tough guys wear pink shirts. I wasn't, for the record, but I'm just curious who all, you know, whose mom bought him that shirt. No judgment whatsoever. There's no shame in that. I'm just curious, just morbid curiosity. Let's kill these wood guys. I don't like the way they're looking at me. First we had the old Woody Woodpecker back there. Now we got these fellas and these. Are they supposed to be termites? I never really made that connection, but yeah, I guess these guys are termites, and maybe they like hollowed out this tree or something. I'm trying to figure out the lore implications here of this world, of this tree that we're scaling. But yeah, we're making pretty quick work of this level here. I think we will. We'll just finish out this world, because this is going to be pretty short, and then we got the last fight with the carrot guy, or not the carrot guy, the sunflower guy, whose name I'm blanking on. Look out for these mosquito guys. I guess they're supposed to be mosquitoes. But yeah, we've got kind of a little mini boss here. Even though this is one of the run and gun levels, they always kind of end with a mini boss fight, or at least they usually do. So yeah, let's take him down here. We got this big mosquito, I guess. Look out, because he shoots that projectile there that will cause the insects to die that's holding these leaves for me. So we got to be kind of careful there and just time it well. Let's use our special move on him. Oh, I think he's already dead. Alright, so we should be done with the level here. This game, it's also got, you know, the old classic, you know, kind of ragtime sort of music from the era. A lot of kind of jazzy, big band, you know, instrumentation going on. I can't really hear it that well, though, because I've got my headset turned way down, so that's why I've forgotten to comment on it up to this point. But the music in this game is very good as well, just like everything else. For me personally, I'm not the biggest jazz guy. I don't know. The saxophone is not an instrument that ever really resonated with me. I don't know why it's considered a sexy instrument that just like puts people in the mood for love. Because like to me, I hear a saxophone and it just sounds like a heavy set man farting. But you know, some people like the saxophone. But just for me, it ain't my cup of tea. But yeah, Cagney Carnation in Floral Fury. You see, no wonder I forgot the guy's name. What kind of name? What does Cagney even mean? Cagney Carnation. I don't know what a carnation is, but Cagney? What is that? Okay. We're done. I said we'd stop that. We're nipping that in the bud. Just like this flower, we're going to nip him in the bud as well. Do his little hands thing. And now this level, the music is a lot more, still that big band kind of thing, but it's a lot more Latin, kind of jazzy, kind of salsa sort of thing going on with the music this time. It's very catchy, but it doesn't really scream to me like you know, 1930s you know, America like the rest of the game is. But it's still catchy, even though I'm not 100% sure that it fully fits in with the game. This is probably maybe the most popular song in the game, when they added Cuphead as a Mii costume in Smash Brothers. I was ecstatic about that, by the way. And this song here was the one that they went with, but I don't know. I kind of would have maybe preferred if they went with a different track. I really like the one that plays when you fight. There's like a three-headed dragon boss. I forget his name, but the music on that level is great, which is like I really like that one. Oh, we took damage, but that's okay. But yeah, I mean, the boss fight on this one, or the music, is pretty good. And yeah, these things we want to look out for. There's actually a Mario, or well, Yoshi's Island reference that wasn't in the game at launch. Well, I didn't do that on purpose, but now you can see it. We might actually die on this boss fight. So much for our perfect run here, maybe. Maybe not. Let's see. This is getting a little risky. This might have been a bad time to use my spec. I would have been fine. I would have been fine. It killed I think it took out that pollen thing. We were so close. Extreme pollination and total domination. Oh, he must be related to Nick Cannon too. Extreme pollination. The jokes write themselves. I'm sorry. Okay, let's do that one more time. I thought we might actually make it to that to the wishing well in the next world, who will tell us how many times we've died. I was curious if he had a unique dialogue if we hadn't died any up to that point, but oh well. So that's our first death in the game, but that's okay. It's to be expected we would die eventually. We all have to someday, am I right? You know, two things in life are inevitable. Dying in Cuphead, taxes. It's actually three, but I don't know what's the third one. Death, taxes, and what? I don't know. Maybe there's not a set in stone third one, because I've only ever heard people fill in the blank with like whatever, death, taxes, and blank you choose. So maybe there's not a, or maybe it's just lost to time. Maybe nobody remembers what the original third thing was. I don't know. Tell me in the comments, what's that third thing? The walls will ooze green slime. Oh wait, they always do that. But what was that third thing? The music in this reminds me of a track that plays in, if any of y'all remember, I've referenced a lot of old shows on this, or not like old, but shows from the, that I grew up with in the early 2000s, like 2006 and 7, thereabout. I was talking about Camp Lazlo, but the music in this also reminds me of music that would play on a show called My Gym Partner's a Monkey, which was one of the, that is terrifying, look at his face. Which is kind of one of the more obscure Cartoon Network shows I don't really hear people talk about anymore, along with Camp Lazlo. They were both airing around the same time, 2006, 2007. But yeah, I feel like there was a lot of episodes. I think it was like a public domain music thing, kind of like how SpongeBob does and Ren and Stimpy, where they use a lot of like royalty-free stuff. But there's a song in that game that plays that has a very similar salsa kind of vibe to that boss. It always makes me think of Jake Spider Monkey, which is which is one of the main characters from that show. But yeah, we beat the first world. Let's talk to King Dice and we'll end it there. Yeah, I was saying that boss, it makes a Yoshi's Island reference. I died, so I kind of lost track of what I was saying there. But he shoots like pollen at you or something, and when you touch it, it makes the screen go all trippy. And I think you even get an achievement in this game, or like at least in the maybe like the Xbox and PC versions. That's like. You know, something or another, touch whatever it is, get dizzy. Because there's a level in Yoshi's Island called Touch Fuzzy, Get Dizzy, where there's like these fuzzies that are kind of like hallucinogenics, I don't know, and when you touch one, Yoshi's eyes go all like crazy, like he's like tripping out on acid, and like the whole level gets all like wavy, and Yoshi controls like he's drunk and he doesn't come to a complete stop. It's very weird. It's very un-Nintendo to make basically an LSD reference. Yeah, this so that boss kind of references that with those that pollen. But there's King Dice. Well, ain't that a pimp? At first I thought he said pimp. I was gonna be like, I don't know, dressed the way you are, I think you might be the pimp. Looks like you, boy. Let me move this out of the way of the text again. Got this song playing in the background. King Dice's theme. Can't really hear it that well because again I got the headset on. Probably wasn't snapping in rhythm at all. I can just vaguely hear it. Looks like you boys really put the kibosh on them debtors. You can head on over to the next aisle. Plenty more monks for you to learn on there. I don't know why I always just had him envisioned having this like kind of southern kind of drawl to him. But King Dice, he sounds very different than that in the well, time to move it again. In the Cuphead show cartoon, which I would recommend watching. There's 2 seasons on Netflix. No, actually 3. It's kind of confusing. They made them in like they released them like 10 episodes at a time. But as I understand it, the animation team who made the show, it was supposed to be 2 seasons. And the first one was supposed to be 20 episodes, and then the second season. But Netflix broke it up as if it were 3 seasons, and so it's kind of weird. But it's a pretty good show. There's some pretty good jokes in there. I think it really stuck its landing in those last 10 episodes, the 3rd season, 2nd season, whatever you want to consider that. In production, that would have been the 2nd season, but as it aired on Netflix, it's the 3rd season. But I think they really got their stride by then. The 1st season was kind of hit or miss for me. There were some pretty funny moments. It was animated wonderfully. They really nailed the aesthetic of Cuphead. But yeah, a lot of the voices, like for Cuphead and King Dice, and a lot of them were very different than I'd imagined, so that was a little off-putting, but once you get used to it, It's a really faithful adaptation of the cartoon, and even though they don't go all out replicating the hand-drawn style like this, they do a sufficient job where it still looks really, really good. Netflix has some banger original animated series, so I would recommend watching the Cuphead one. They've got some other shows I've not watched, like the Castlevania and all that, but Netflix has been doing a lot of video game adaptations that have been pretty faithful. As I understand it, the Castlevania one's pretty popular, but the Cuphead's really good, especially in the second season, so give that a watch. It took a little while to grow on me, but yeah, the second season, really good stuff. They got Great Alal in there, my favorite voice actor who does, did voice work on Fairly Odd Parents and Avatar, and Billy and Mandy, Foster Song for Imaginary Friends, a billion other shows, but she's Miss Chalice. But anyway, I'll stop talking about that. I need to wrap up this episode. Let's read what it says here, and then I don't know what I did with my, like, some kind of I don't know, like Donald Trump when he's at a rally and he's doing this motion with his hands, with those beautiful, beautiful little hands. No one has hands more incredible. This is my second Trump video I made on this channel. The first one I made before he got shot in the ear. This is the second one now that he has been shot. I wouldn't be making it if he had actually gotten killed, because that would be insensitive. But he's alive and he seems to be doing okay. He seems better than okay, so we're going to make jokes about Trump and make hand gestures. But anyway, let's read what they say here. Guys, hang on. Thank the stars I caught up with you. I believe I found a way out of this mess you're in. Hot dog, you have? Your strength is growing. You'll soon be a match for that no-good King Dice, and maybe even the devil himself. Even that was something they went back and added. These were kind of still images, but they added like little animations here as like a free update. Golly, do you really think? I do, but you'll never get close to the devil unless you already have those soul contracts in hand. And that's what I've been doing, the pointing thing. Only then, only you can prevent forest fires, Cuphead. Not you, Mugman. You're alleviated of all the burden, but Cuphead, you alone. It's your burden to bear, son. Now go out there, make Smokey proud. Only then will you get a chance to turn the tables on that fiend. So when that time comes, do the right thing. I want you. I'm just gonna keep making finger-pointing references as many as I can think of. I gotta do it for one time's sake. We're about to wrap up the video, so we gotta end on a. Okay, so yeah, when we start next time, we'll be here on World 2, which is the second island rather, which is this kind of fair amusement park sort of thing, carnival, whatever you wanna call this. Let's talk to the wishing well here. Through all your battles and all my rhymes, you have failed and perished one times. See? They didn't expect me to only die once. That's the wrong. It should be singular instead of plural. It should be one time instead of one times. But, they never expected me to make it this far. But, only one death. What do you say to that? Come on, Studio MDH, are you slacking? You patched out all this other stuff. You couldn't have patched it in to have the right context. I'm an English major, so I take this stuff very personally. No, I'm kidding. It's fine. It's fine. I won't lose too much sleep over it. It's fine. I'm okay, honest. It's fine. It's fine. I was at that same guy that takes it. I didn't realize he shows up in every world, I guess, to take us to the DLC, but we're not going to do it. It kind of looks like, what is it, like not the Grim Reaper, but like in the mythology that like has the river Styx or whatever, the guy who boats you across, and it would make sense because you got like the devil and stuff that like takes you to the underworld or whatever. But anyway, we're going to call it a wrap here. We've been recording for 48 minutes, so thank you guys very much for watching. We'll help these barbers next time. They're looking for their, I think they say they were a quartet, now they're a trio. Let's talk to them real quick. Who ever heard of a barbershop trio? If we can't find a fourth member, we'll never sound right again. Be a pal and let us know if you spot him, won't you? I was kind of trying to go for a Three Stooges thing, kind of do a mole, do a sort of a mole voice, and then Kylie, but then Larry. I don't really remember what Larry talks like. Larry's kind of a more like sort of I don't know, something like that. I've not watched that much Three Stooges. Anyway, we're going to call it there. The fourth one that we got to find, maybe that's Shimp. It's all going back to our Spyro playthrough, but we got to find Shimp. Okay, guys. That's going to be enough for this episode. We're going to call it here. Thank you so much for watching Cuphead. One of my favorite games of all time. Looking forward to playing more of it with you guys. So yeah, make sure that you stay tuned for the next episode where we take on even more bosses. We'll probably start here with Djimmi the Great. I was going to say the Great Djimmi, which I feel like would sound a little bit better, but whatever. It's Djimmi the Great in Pyramid Peril. So stay tuned for that. See you guys on the next episode. Bye. Yeah. Jazz hands.